Imagine that you've got a stand, you know, selling something, anything really. And you get there at 8 in the morning, and day goes by, lunchtime goes by, and it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you're hungry. What you sell determines whether you have a place to sleep or food to eat, and you've had no customers. Come 8 o'clock, finally some people show up, but one of them is crippled, you know, handicapped person. Another one is wearing a clown suit. Another one is very rude and obnoxious, but he's ordering from you and he's paying you for what you're selling. Another one is you know, some kind of other unpleasant, smelly person that looks like they've been sleeping on the street, but they have money and they want what you're selling. Now, are you going to turn them away, or are you going to accept their money and sell them what they want at any cost? You know, in terms of tolerating these people. You will sell them because you're desperate, you're hungry, you've paid for your stuff, and you have dependence on whether or not whether or not they buy from you. That is exactly how these poor women are in Southeast Asia. When a man shows up and he appears to have enough money, more than you, as little as ability to pay for your lunch, or in some cases, which I have seen with my own eyes, buys a seafront house for you and pays for you and your family and your supposed sick buffalo. Are you going to be picky about how he looks, how old he is, whether he can walk fine or he needs a cane to walk, etc.? No, you do not have that luxury to be picky. Now imagine in a same situation where before you even open your shop, there is a line of customers waiting for you to open, and they're all money in hand, ready to buy what you're selling. And then some guy shows up and says, you know, I don't have any money, but you know, I'll pay you tomorrow. I'm gonna give you like 20% today, and the rest, you know, when I get paid, whatever. You're either gonna give him something and tell him to, you know, just basically be gone, or you're gonna tell him to go pound sand and get lost, because you've got your plate full. And that is exactly how it is with these situation of women in these Southeast Asian countries. I'm not talking about obviously the ones like Japan and South Korea, and I am not also, this is very important, I am not talking about the people in those countries, those poor Southeast Asian countries who happen to be among the rich. Good luck going out with them. Actually, that is the acid test of what I'm saying to those who continue to deny and delude and live in a fantasy world that will only end up causing them heartache just because they want to believe the fantasy. There was a line in a movie that I really liked. The movie was called Tailor of Panama, and in that movie at one point the tailor the Australian actor, I forget his name, but if you see the movie you know what I'm talking about. He tells Pierce Brosnan, who's also in that movie, when Pierce Brosnan reveals to him that he knows his past and he knows that he's a con man and he's been in prison and everything, the old man, the tailor, tells Pierce Brosnan that when you're in prison and when everything is so bad, you create stories, you create fantasy, you create whatever you need to create, I'm paraphrasing, to make life sound better than what it actually is, because things are so bad. And it's the same situation with these people that come here to these Southeast Asian countries. They come from the West and they're suddenly inundated with attention from women that are their daughter and granddaughter's age. They accept them as they are. They say yes to anything they want initially until they get what they want. And they are in heaven. They go, oh my God, look, she doesn't care how old I look. She doesn't care about, my drinking habits. She doesn't complain about anything I do. Every time I want to be intimate with her, she gladly does it. You know, this is heaven. I'm going to marry her. Some of them go as far as being a further fool, and they marry them and bring them back home. These people are in for a rude awakening. Now, is this true about 100% of the cases? No. Are all pigeons gray? No. But the great majority of them are. If you like playing the odds, go right ahead. And again, I am not at all against coming here and enjoying these women, but don't delude yourself as to what it's all about. And that really is a practice you should pick up in any aspect of life. Don't be under delusions as to why something is happening. Be realistic to yourself, and you see how much of a better time you have in this world. Understand that when a company hires you, it's not out of love, and when they fire you, it's not out of hate. They just don't need you anymore. And understand that when a woman leaves you, it's because she has determined that you, have served the purpose for her, because that's what romantic love is all about. You serving the purpose. And she no longer needs you, and because of, let's say if you're living in the West, she does not need to keep you around to keep the flow of benefits coming. If you are living overseas where those laws don't apply, no, she just stays and suffers, even though she can't stand your face, or you can't stand her. And that was the point of this video. Deluding ourselves will only lead to misery, because you know what? Truth eventually always comes out, doesn't it? Eventually, it always comes out. No one can act forever. And if you're prepared, you'll minimize the hurt, or not at all. But if you delude yourself, if you believe, oh yeah, she really loves me, how could she go with someone else the moment I left, we went to the airport? How could she? Because sometimes the friends see these girls at the bar and say, hey, you know that girl that you're gonna marry and bought the house for her father and everything? I just saw her with someone else. Learn from the mistakes of others. All the best.